The thing that concerned me now is that he's paying for everything with cash, which makes me suspect that he's married.
Then he called me and I missed his call. And I literally went to the kitchen and missed his call again.
10 days later, I sent him a very quick message, and all I got back was a smiley face.
Welcome to Secrets from a Billionaires Matchmaker with Matchmaker Gina Hendrix.
Welcome to Secrets from a Billionaires Matchmaker. I'm your host, Gina Hendrix. I've been a professional matchmaker since 2008, working with some of the most successful and eligible men in the world. But the main reason that I do this podcast is because I've had this unique vantage point where it's not always about money, ladies. It's not always about ending up with the wealthiest men, because a lot of times ending up with those kind of guys comes with its own price that you've not thought of. But I will say, from being this person, a billionaire's matchmaker, and working with some of these, famous men, I have learned how to improve myself. I've grown as a person. I've evolved as a person. And there's so much I've learned, not from ending up with a rich guy. Come on. That's a little boring to me, quite frankly. But it's beyond that. It's improving yourself from the inside out to be the best version of you. So my goal is simple: to give women the insight and the intel that most people have never gotten access to. It certainly changed my life. And I know it'll change yours if you lean in and listen up and make sure you subscribe. All right. So without further ado, some thoughts about just how I've grown as a person through having this business, right? A lot of ladies, although I'm very lucky, have your shit together for sure. I mean, you're so impressive. That was not who I was. I was not the woman who had my shit together. I grew up with a chaotic life, a lot of inner anxiety and, nervous system out of whack, like so many of you deal with, right? And didn't know how to make smart money decisions, didn't have boundaries. I mean, for me, it was the wild, wild west. And then all of a sudden, I just followed this passion for connecting, and it led me to being a matchmaker. And then being a matchmaker led me to this niche of working with the super rich men. But, I think what's so hard for most women to get their heads around when they first discover me and who I am and what I do, they don't really understand that Gina Hendrix is still just a normal person. I mean, granted, now I'm bringing my A game. That is what the men have taught me, how to bring my A game in every way. I'm on time, usually. And if I'm not, I'm like, I recognize it and I get mad at myself for not being on time. But that used to not be the case. I'm more organized. I'm more methodical. I have follow through. And it's just everything I've learned from observing these men and how they operate. But at the heart of it, I'm still myself. And so we're going to get into dating here in a second. And I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things I've learned from the billionaire clients, and also just men in general, the one thread that runs through all men, and we can explore this more. At the heart of it, they are still 14-year-old boys with the pictures on the wall of the sexiest lady that's popular and hiding the Playboy magazines under their bed. That's who they are at the heart of it, which means that at the end of the day, I don't care how successful a woman is or how accomplished a woman is or what your resume looks like. Your accomplishments are fabulous, but not if the cover of your book, so to speak, is not going to make them pull it off the shelf. All right, Jody, let's start with you. I'm going to allow you to talk. Hello, Jody. Welcome.
I don't have a problem getting first dates with great guys and everything. And I'm really playful and teasing, and I like to do that. But what if you get a guy who's not like that, who can't give it back to you?
In my experience, what's helpful is that I get feedback from men when they go out with women and they give me the feedback about the women. And then I get feedback from the women. Feedback sometimes women would give about my clients is maybe he was a little stiff on the first date. Maybe he just talked about himself. I hear all this stuff, right? Yeah. And then I get to go back to the guy with that feedback and see what he says about it. I think what I've learned is that there are just some men that are just nervous on a first date, especially if the woman's pretty and if she's, extra friendly and they're not expecting that. Some guys just aren't great on the first date. And there's women like that too, that take a little bit more to warm up. So if I were you, honestly, I wouldn't worry about how they are on the first date. I would just worry about myself, but have no expectations of them.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, Jody, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Stella.
I'm 59 and I'm dating people between 55 and 65. What distinguishes the men who become great partners from the men who stay stuck?
Oh, I think that that's kind of the same goes. It's the same answer that I would say for women as well. It's those who have done the work, those who are willing to take a look at their part in everything and improve themselves, and also somebody who's I find I have the most success with those men who come along and they're not, like I say, holding on to the handrails, because there's those that are like white knuckling the handrails and they're just so paranoid about like letting go and just and trusting the process and even trusting me, but they're like trying to micromanage every single detail about it. And women do this too. They won't let go and relax about the process and lean in. And so that's what I see for both men and women. So I think the ones who have success are the ones that are open. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye. Anna, you're next.
My
Hey.
question is, what is the thing that makes a man want to commit? I've had great success on the dating apps as far as finding great guys, dating some successful men, but inevitably it doesn't seem to work out. I'm wondering if it's a pre-qualifying thing, something I'm doing. And so I guess overall, what is it that makes one of these types of guys want to actually commit? Because they have options.
How old are you?
36.
Tell me the age range of the guys that you're going for.
Early to mid 40s. So seeming like, and they say they want marriage and children. So seeming like they'd be in a position where they'd want to make that happen.
So then what I would do is I would really focus on men probably in their mid 40s, because they're going to be more on the same page. I just find in my experience, it's like the men who it's that particular age bracket. It's women who are, like 35 to 40 who still want kids. And they're really, and I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying that, men do the math on this. So the men that are sort of around that age range, and women really want to be with men right around that age range, those guys, at least the conversations I'm having with them, they want 10 years younger, because they're saying, they want a runway and they want several years, not years and years, but several years to be able to date a woman before getting married and then having children. And so they do the math on it. So, and what's really confusing to you ladies, it's not fair, but a lot of times these guys will date you, even though, secretly when I have conversations with them, they're really hoping to find someone younger to actually settle down with. And that could potentially be why you're dating them, but they're not stepping up. You're going to have way better luck with a man who's going to be more saying to himself, I'm 46, I'm 48. I don't want to, I want to have kids sooner or later. I want to get married sooner or later. I don't want that long runway. But those guys who are, especially like 40 to 35 to 40, that range, they're not thinking they're in a rush necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
been my experience. And how do you get them to commit? It's by finding the one that's ready to do that stuff, which I do think it goes hand in hand with him being at an age where his career is set. He's a little bit older, not in that 35 to 40 bracket. I would skip those guys, even maybe early 40s, if I'm being honest. I'd focus on mid. And then hopefully, he hasn't had kids yet, because again, if he hasn't had kids and he's in the mid 40s, and he wants it, he is really going to be way more interested in hitting the gas and being on your timeline.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Thank you.
you. Sure. Lisa Maria.
The last gentleman that I dated, he did show up with effort, in my opinion. The thing that concerned me now is that he's paying for everything with cash, which makes me suspect that he's married. And that should we have another conversation, it is my intent to overtly ask him the question. But I'm thinking, is this just leave it, move on?
What?
Just
No,
as an
I don't. I
example.
need no. I need more details. Do give me some more details here. So you
Okay.
met him what, on a dating app?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And does he live near you?
He lives about 2 hours away from me.
And how often do you see him?
We've just been on 2 dates. The first date was well planned, gorgeous dinner, and then we went out to a nature preserve to look at sunset. All very well planned, all absolutely gorgeous. It was on the second date I realized that he kept paying for things with cash, and I thought, oh,
I don't know. I mean, this is a fascinating situation. I mean, I've certainly known. How old is he?
he is 55.
All right. Well, he's not. I mean, he's not that old. I was gonna say, I've known like old school men who have, are very wealthy and they just carry like pockets of cash to do stuff with. Maybe he's old school in that way. I just think so. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know yet. And the
Right,
thing is,
yes.
if you had told me that you had
Mhm.
met him, I don't know, in a grocery store or you had met him out, I would say honestly, then he might be married, right? But it takes a lot of balls for a man to go on a dating app and really put himself out there in the public eye on a dating platform if he's married. And I know a lot of people want to make videos and say, oh, they're married on the date. That the dating apps is the last place they want to go. I would just even jokingly say, like, what's with the cash? You trying to hide from the IRS or something? I would say that personally.
So I think what I will do is ask him because I have not asked him yet, and that's where I was in my head thinking about things.
Yes, good, 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 good. All right. Yeah, just ask him and maybe ask him you don't want to ever ask somebody and make them feel bad or accuse them. You know what I mean? So that's where
Yeah,
you've got to frame it in like kind of a fun, playful way. But
I
like,
literally just scribbled down what you just said.
oh, good,
What's with
good,
the
good.
cash? What's with
Yeah,
the
good,
cash
good,
one?
good. What's
So
with the
yeah,
what's
to
with
make
the
it
cash? Yeah.
playful, we'll make it
And then let's
playful.
see, because if he freaks out and he's got a problem with it, then that's a bigger problem for me.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool. I'm glad
Thank
you're here.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to you later. I'm going to actually read a couple of questions. Here's just some common date first questions. Should I kiss on the first date? Should you kiss on the first date? It's not the end of the world to kiss on the first date, but I think knowing you ladies that I just think you guys seem to want to get so attached so quickly anyway that I think it's just going to make you put your rose-colored glasses on that much sooner about him. If you kiss him, you're going to read into it that it means more than it does. All right, how long should a first date be? And what topic should I avoid on a first date? How long should a first date be? I mean, if you're going to a nice dinner, it's probably going to be at least 2 hours long, if not 3 hours, but I would never have anything go past that. Like some people are like, we had a 6 hour date. We had an 8 hour date. I think that's a little much for a first date. You always kind of want to leave them wanting more, not like going, whoa, God, that was a marathon date. You know what I mean? And then topics should you avoid on a first date? Well, these are topics that you should always avoid in the early days of dating. Any kind of drama in your life, anything that's like a personal question that makes you go, ooh, how am I going to answer this? Or, ooh, I don't want to answer it, should not be asked or answered on a first date. And if somebody asks you something, that makes you uncomfortable, you need to have a boundary about it. If you know something's going to come up on a date that's going to maybe be a potential topic that somebody's probably going to ask, like, have you ever been married? If you've never been married, okay? You're going to have your go-to stock answer, and then you're going to move the conversation along, okay? You're going to say, oh, I was engaged a couple of times, lived with somebody, but never ended up getting married, just haven't found my person yet. And life goes by fast, and you can even say that. They can identify with life goes by fast. And then you be prepared to move the conversation on to, but it's been great. I've learned so much about myself and life, and my passion these days is creating new adventures and da da da. And then you talk about your adventure. You just move it along. You have a shtick, ladies. Have a go-to shtick. Hey, Meg.
My biggest question is, so I'm going to be turning 62 in July, and I wanted to know realistically what age group of guy would be the group that would be appropriate. I always kind of look for guys my age. I'm very fit and active, but it appears that guys my age want ladies, 10 years younger.
I don't find that to be true, Meg. I don't. I sure there's going to be some. I'm not going to say there's not going to be some, but In my experience, I think there's plenty of men out there who want a woman who, because see, here's the thing, as you get older, the more exceptional you look in your age bracket makes you more of a hot commodity in a lot of ways. Do you know what I mean? So, a lot of men would love a woman who's around their age because you're going to understand where they're at in life and you guys are be on the same page and on so many things. And it just for them comes down to, well, is she fit and in shape and look great for her age? So I think the 60s for you is fine. I think to be open-minded though, to even maybe 70, which I know is maybe pushing it, but if he's exceptional and fit and all these things too, then, I would do 10 years.
Okay.
Hi, Seal.
Hi, Gina. It's
Hey.
Sheila
Oh, you mean Sile is pronounced Sheila?
in Ireland. Yes.
Oh, boy, is that cool. Okay. I just learned something new. Sheila.
Hey.
Hello, Sheila.
Hello, Gina.
Uh-huh.
I really wish you did matchmaking here in Europe because I live in Rome in Italy, and by chance I was contacted by this European matchmaking company, and they put me in contact with this guy who works in a multinational who wants to find his lady, shall we say. But then we had a FaceTime video, and it went very well, I thought. But then he said that he travels an awful lot and he was going to be traveling all of June. 10 days later, I sent him a very quick message, and all I got back was a smiley face.
That was the end
That
of the
was
road,
it.
Sheila. Yeah, he
That was the
wasn't,
end of the road.
whatever. It's like these are just different phases of dating where, either you click and there, it's mutual attraction or it's not. And for whatever reason, when you got on the FaceTime, he decided he wasn't interested. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hey, Leanne, what's going on?
I live in a town with not a lot of eligible men, at least to my taste. And there's a city that I'm interested in. I'm open to relocating. I've come out of a 2-year long distance relationship where I mistakenly put all my eggs in one basket and it went nowhere. And so I want to avoid that mistake.
Mhm.
But I find it kind of challenging to juggle with travel. And I think you can kind of get into a level of comfort because you're not in your own home if you're going there or if they're coming here. And then you kind of tend to have this living together type feeling. And so I was hoping for your take on that.
Boy, this is a good question. How many guys are you dating right now, long distance?
None currently, but I have matched with a number of men on Bumble. But before I dive in, I wanted to be mindful of how to manage it.
In my honest opinion, I think to try to sit around and theorize how to do it, and it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to go through the paces and figure it out as it's happening because there'll be those men that, well, first of all, I think there'll be few and far between that are willing to put in the real effort. You know what I mean? That's what I find. And so maybe you'll only have one or two. And then let's say you have three. Okay. Let's say you have three men long distance. First of all, we want them to fly into you. We don't want you flying out to them. Okay. My preference is they fly into you twice before anything's ever considered. And then probably out of those three, let's say you like two. Okay. Now one's off the radar. And out of those other two, maybe one doesn't like you. So now you just got one cooking anyway. So, or out of those two, you both like each other mutually, but one decides, I can't really do the long distance. So then you only have one. So I think to worry about it now until you're actually in it, is kind of pointless.
Okay.
I know it doesn't help you, but you're not there yet. And I think until you've tried to navigate the waters, all you can do is theorize. But if you come back to me and you're like, hey, Gina, I'm trying this. I've got like 2-3 guys cooking. Then I'd want details and then I could guide you from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Vida, you're my next lady up.
One guy, corporate lawyer, I went out with. It was an amazing first date. But then he texted me 2 weeks later, didn't text me to go out. This is very embarrassing, and just showed me pictures of his lake house. I wish I didn't even invest in the one date with him. How do we weed these types out quicker?
I don't believe there's just one type of successful guy. I do think that, you have to pre-qualify hard, and the same rules have to apply to every single guy. Like whether he's wealthy or he's not wealthy, you still have to have a specific system where they have to come in. Are you meeting them on the dating apps? Is that what's happening?
I'm meeting them on the apps and I'm meeting them out in the wild.
That's great. I think just again, kind of going in blind here and just going off what you're telling me. I mean, I think that you asked how to know right away about these guys. So I'm thinking I'm channeling my guys, right? When I answer these things. So if one of my guys met a woman out in person that he was just like gaga goo goo for, he is going to plan a date right away. He's not going to put it off for 2 weeks. He's not going to just text and be random. And then
Or send his whole resume to me and like his seminar at Davos or whatever these weirdos do.
That means nothing. I mean, men even send pictures of them and their children, which is just so stupid. I don't know why they do that, but
Right.
they do that, and it means absolutely nothing. So no, it's just
exactly.
if they want to get in if they want to get together with you in person as soon and as much as possible, that's the only thing you need to pay attention to. But on the apps, it's got to be when you match with them, okay? They have to say something to you first and not low level. Oh, you're beautiful. You have nice legs. Hi, how's the weather? How's your day? Blah, blah, blah. No, a man who's truly interested, and we see this over and over with the women who are doing my program with me, and I look at, I look at the apps and I see what they post with the men they're talking to and all this stuff. Those men are coming in with real effort. Now, it's few and far between, but that's what we're doing. We're being cutthroat. We're cutting out the majority of men who are just low-level losers. I don't care they could have money and still be a low-level loser if they're not coming in with real effort. In my perspective here for you guys, you know what I'm saying? So, you need a man that is excited enough about you that he's going to hit the gas. And if he's not hitting the gas, if he's like on the gas pedal, letting up on the gas pedal, and it's like back, nope, that he's not interested enough. If he's not hitting the gas, then you've just got to let him go and just keep moving forward. Perfect.
You're incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vita. I appreciate it. Andrea, give me a question.
Yeah, so I've matched up with a guy like a good solid month from online. And he's very intriguing. Like his background is very interesting. I so want to know more about him, but we had very little time to meet. Because his schedule is so full, there's no second date scheduled. And so now I'm thinking, should I let him know, hey, I would like to get to know you more, but I don't think that this is going to work out?
No, because actually, Andrea, if you're being honest, the only reason you'd say that is to really get his attention, right? To hope that he does something different, right? I mean, because you don't mean it. You don't really mean like, all right, I'm out of here. You're hoping that he'll step up.
Right.
Right. So that's not right to do that. And also, it's not going to make a damn bit of difference. And you went on a great first date. You think it was great?
No, it wasn't great.
Why wasn't it great?
We had originally set up a time to meet at 7:30. Then that morning, he realized, oh no, I have an important meeting to go to. Can we push it up to 5:30? Well, I get off at 5. And then the restaurant wasn't that good.
Yeah, there's no potential with this guy. If I were you, not at all. For whatever reason. And here's the thing, we're never going to know what the reason is, and the reason doesn't matter. Is he seeing a bunch of other women? Is he just really busy? I mean, in my experience, if a man is crazy about you, he's never going to be too busy. He's going to bring you to that thing, if you know what I mean. If I were you, mentally, I would just disconnect. I don't think you need to say anything to him. I don't think you need to be dramatic about it or anything. But I think when he texts, you could just say, hey, great to hear from you, but I just want to be honest. I'm very intentional with my dating. And, if at any point you'd like to get together again to go out, just reach out to me then, and you're basically saying, I don't want to hear from you unless you're asking me out again.
That makes total sense. Thank you so very much.
Sure. Thanks for your question. Francine, I'm going to allow you to talk.
I started a chat with a gentleman about a week and a half ago. Then he called me and I missed his call. And then I reached out to him again and he responded to that. And that was last night. And I literally went to the kitchen and missed his call again.
So I think I just want you to kind of relax a little bit and not worry about this guy. You know, you're doing what a lot of ladies do. And it's like, we don't know this guy. He's nothing to us right now. It's just a phone call, might lead nowhere. You know, I feel like you're a little too invested. If I missed his call, I would just send him a text and I would have just said, hey, you know, I missed your call. I don't really have my phone with me that often, so I need to kind of know when you're going to be calling. So give me a heads up. And that's it. And, you know, and then let it go.
Okay, that sounds great.
Right?
Because
Yeah.
his profile is absolutely great. It's almost like you helped him do it. So yeah, that's what, you know, attracted me to respond in the first place. So on paper, he looks absolutely perfect.
I know, but
Like,
we don't care yet, Francine. Like, I don't
true.
even want you to care about these men, and this goes for all you ladies, for till even like the third or fourth date. You know what I mean? And I know, and I understand because you guys really want to meet somebody and all that. But you
Right.
know, but we don't ever want to have that thirsty pick me energy. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're a busy lady and you need a man to give you a day and time when he's going to call you so that you can take his call and you don't leave things open-ended anymore. But I want you to just chill out a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Okay, cool. You're going to be
Thank
fine.
you.
All right. Thanks. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, Pam.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm
okay, there you
here.
are. All right, Pam, I was thinking of you because I know you have that guy that you're excited about, that you're going to be seeing, that you met long distance.
We talked about some dates yesterday and put down some dates, but he wants to come out for like 3 days because he wants to make the maximum amount of time out here, which is great. So, but that is a long time.
Now
And I
I
don't know if
think
he's intending to see other friends or what the deal is. We haven't
Well,
really
then
talked
that's
about
what you
that.
need to say to him. Say, hey, sooner
Mhm.
rather than later. Hey, so what's your plan when you get here? Do you have other friends to visit? Da da da. And then I would throw in because, you know, I'm excited to see you and spend time, but I will be having other things going on as well. Like operate under the assumption that he's going to answer the question by saying he has other things going on. Because it's unfair for somebody to think that they're going to obligate you, you know. So I think that you need to have these conversations before he comes out and tell him that you have some other things going on, and you know you hope to spend as much time with him as you can, but you know you can't guarantee. You need to frame it like that so that you're not boxed in.
My concern is we have all these great conversations, and I don't want to slip into that, hey, we have so much fun together. We're like buddies, because it happens a lot. You have a great conversation, and then you wonder, wow, we talked so long. What happened?
How many times have you like done FaceTime with him or Zoom?
We did 2 different Zooms in the same day.
No, too
So
much, Pam.
I know,
Jesus
but it was like on
Christ.
such a roll. I know that's the problem. See,
No,
we
this
fall
is
into those. I walk by.
Don't say
We,
we.
I know, I'm dragging you down with
This
me,
is
and I'm
no,
not
no,
going to do that to you.
I don't even mean me. I just mean, you know, you and I have talked so much about this is kind of your thing that you need to pay attention to. You're too
Yes.
available, you're too
Yeah.
accommodating. There is some magic in that great electric, hopeful energy for sure. But in your case, you need to rein it in a little bit because I
Yeah.
think the men already feel like, oh, I got this one in the bag. And men still like to chase and pursue, right? So he doesn't have it in the bag. We're still auditioning this man. He doesn't
Mhm.
have, he's not been cast in the role yet. But sometimes I think because you're excited and eager, you give them the impression, you know, meeting him again then the same night. No, you should have said, actually, I have dinner plans with, you know, you don't even have to explain your dinner plans. Keep it a little mysterious. Don't over talk. But I do think stop being so available to this guy. You know what I mean? Like it's fun, but have boundaries. And I think all your interactions should not be this text friendship or calls. I think they should just be a series of FaceTime stuff until he comes here.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and just do shorter Zoom calls.
Shorter Zoom
And
calls,
yeah,
be a little
yeah.
fun and flirty because I think when you just get into texting and stuff, that's like hell, I've known you 100 years. Oh, good God, kill me, kill me. I can't even bear hearing it.
Okay, well, we'll see. All right, well, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I think you ladies are terrific. I feel so lucky to get to help you and level you up and remind you how awesome you are and to keep those standards high and give you this perspective that that I have. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you subscribe to Secrets from a Billionaire's Matchmaker. wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes are released every week, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok at Matchmaker Gina Hendrix. That is my official one. And visit ginahendrix.com. And if you ever want to join a live taping and you don't see the RSVP link, you can always email us at teamgina@ginahendrix.com.
Want to keep up with more of Gina's advice? Follow her on TikTok and Instagram at Matchmaker Gina Hendrix, or visit her matchmaking website, ginahendrix.com.